Namaskar. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Amazon India, I'm very excited as I welcome you all to the third edition of Amazon Smbhav. Welcome to Amazon Smbhav 2022. I'm Geetika Ganjudhar, and it is my pleasure to host this year's edition of this mega virtual summit, where we bring to you insightful sessions from industry stalwarts and Amazon leaders, showcase breakthrough technology success stories, and deep dive into Amazon products through our master classes. This year, as we celebrate the 75th year of India's independence, we are delighted to bring to you the third edition of the summit on the theme Pragati. Amazon Smbhav 2022, a two-day virtual mega conference that brings together industry thought leaders and small businesses for invigorating discussions. And so, to take us through a preview of what the next 2 days hold in store for the participants and to talk about the progress Amazon India has made towards its pledges, I'd like to invite Mr. Manish Tiwary, Country Manager India Consumer Business, to say a few words and of course to kick off the Smbhav Summit.
Hello everyone. It's a privilege to welcome all of you to the third edition of the Amazon Smbhav Summit. Amazon Smbhav was born in 2020. It was our endeavor to bring together key stakeholders like policymakers, industry thought leaders, businesses of all size including local stores, startups, emerging brands and many more on a single platform for thought-provoking discussions on areas of innovation and growth. And this year at Amazon Smbhav 2022, we brought together some of the most brilliant minds to discuss and explore ideas that will drive India's Pragati in the years and decades to come. At 75 years of its independence, India is one of the fastest growing economies across the world. We've established ourselves as a land of innovators, entrepreneurs, manufacturers and service providers. We've seen India's pace of progress accelerate due to technology adoption across different areas like infrastructure, digital payments, retail, logistics, education, entertainment, and many more. This has also played a big role in unlocking new business models, creation of new sectors, generation of lakhs of livelihoods, and a positive impact on the economy overall. It has also provided Amazon an opportunity to be a part of India's economic growth story by digitally enabling millions of small businesses and serve hundreds of millions of customers across India. As we look ahead at the journey towards becoming a 5 trillion economy, we will need to build on our strengths as a nation, leveraging digital technologies and creating ecosystems to enable more innovation and boosting job creation. From the time we started here in India, all our efforts have been focused on being a long-term partner in India's socio-economic progress. And we've been focused on innovating for the diversity and richness of our country. We have created several India-first innovations tailored for especially small businesses like the Seller Flex and Easy Ship. These are now being implemented across global markets. We strongly believe that our success depends on the success of millions of local stores, entrepreneurs and SMBs across the country. And we've been working really hard to bring the benefits of digitization closer to them. We've been focused on leveraging technology to bring more and more small businesses across small cities and towns online, including lakhs of neighborhood stores as well as traditional artisans and new age entrepreneurs. Just to give you an idea, more than 50% of the 1.1 million sellers on Amazon.in, 85% of our new customers, and 65% of all customer orders at this time are coming from Tier 2 and below geographies. More than 8 million local stores and small businesses are today using Amazon Pay, with more than 80% of them in Tier 2 and smaller geographies. Over 75% of customers that use Amazon Pay UPI are from these smaller cities. And these customers are not coming to Amazon just to shop, but to discover new products, understand trends, share stories, contribute to causes, pay their bills, book tickets, and improve knowledge, get entertained, and much more. While I have talked about the last 8-9 years of Amazon in India through some numbers, the real essence of our journey is when you hear from sellers and customers about how Amazon has become a part of their daily life. Stories like that of Harbhajan Kaur. She is from Chandigarh and she started selling homemade barfi on Amazon.in at the age of 94 to fulfill her lifelong dream to earn her own money and have her own business. Is that not inspiring? Or that of a customer who lives in Bengaluru but orders everything from suitcases to kitchen appliances and even birthday gifts for his parents living in Srinagar from Amazon.in. Our vision is that in a country the size of India, with millions of SMBs and Dukaan, all of them should be digital and are wired up to serve customers. This is going to set the foundation for building robust, future-ready businesses and also boost employment in this country. Towards this, at the inaugural Amazon Smbhav Summit, we had taken a pledge to digitize 10 million small businesses, enable exports worth $10 billion, and create 2 million jobs by 2025. And I'm happy to share that we made significant progress on these commitments. We've already digitized over 40 lakh or 4 million local stores and small businesses across the country, up from 25 lakh that we had announced at Amazon Smbhav last year. In 2021, we crossed a significant milestone of 10 lakh sellers on Amazon.in. More than 2,70,000 local neighborhood stores are now partnering with Amazon, growing their businesses by selling online, partnering for last mile delivery, and as assisted shopping points. We opened our first digital Kendra in Surat last year that has already served over 4,000 entrepreneurs and small businesses from that city. We have opened another digital Kendra a couple of weeks back in Kanpur. Our focused programs, Karigar for weavers and artisans, Seheli for women entrepreneurs, Launchpad for startups and emerging brands, continue to witness tremendous adoption. Coming to a second pledge of enabling exports worth $10 billion by 2025, we continue to see a remarkable momentum in the export of Made in India products through our global selling program. Today, we have over 1 lakh Indian exporters on the program who are showcasing millions of Made in India products to customers across the world. And together, they are on a track to surpass $5 billion in e-commerce exports. This program took 3 years to enable the first $1 billion in exports, while the last $2 billion have come in the last 17 months. Importantly, the program is helping thousands of Indian businesses create truly global brands. Excited by the momentum in new businesses joining the global selling program and by the growing demand for Made in India products across the world, we have already raised our pledge and doubled our target to enable $20 billion in cumulative export by 2025. Our efforts towards enabling digitization of local stores and SMBs and boosting exports from the country are helping create tens of thousands of livelihood opportunities in the ecosystem. Amazon has already helped create more than 11,60,000 direct and indirect jobs in India, with more than 1,35,000 new jobs added in the last 1 year itself. These jobs are across industries like IT, e-commerce, logistics, manufacturing, content creation, skill development, and many more. As the 2-day Amazon Smbhav Summit gets underway, I am reminded of what Jeff Bezos had said at the inaugural Smbhav Summit in 2020, that the 21st century will be India's century. We are excited by the long-term opportunities in India and would like to reiterate our commitment to accelerate India's pragati while staying focused on key thrust areas like inclusive economic growth, tech innovation and infrastructure, and social empowerment and enablement. Over the next 2 days, we have an exciting lineup of speakers, including senior policymakers, industry leaders, leading entrepreneurs, and more, to talk about India's pragati in the 21st century. To formally kick off Amazon Smbhav 2022, I would now like to welcome a special Amazonian and my colleague, Amit Agarwal, SVP India and Emerging Markets at Amazon. Over to you, Amit.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope you and your loved ones are safe and well. Thank you for joining us today for the third edition of Amazon Smbhav. I'm delighted to have Dave Clark, CEO Worldwide Consumer at Amazon, with us today. Dave, welcome to Amazon Smbhav 2022. Let's get started. It's been nearly 23 years for you at Amazon. We would love to know more about your incredible journey and your experiences prior to Amazon that have shaped you as a leader.
Thank you, Amit, for having me. It's great to be here, albeit virtually. To be honest, it doesn't feel like 2 decades with Amazon. It's been such an exciting journey, and I can't imagine having spent the last 23 years anywhere else. I graduated from graduate school on a Friday and started work at Amazon the following Monday, and have had the great fortune of working with incredible teams of people every day since. I've done a variety of roles in our ops teams, including leading a fulfillment center, and then later moving to Seattle to take on broader roles, including leading the acquisition of Kiva Systems robotics company that now powers many of our fulfillment centers around the world. Eventually, I led our global operations teams, and today I get to oversee our worldwide consumer team. In this new role, I'm perhaps most excited by getting the opportunity to work closely supporting the sellers who choose to operate their businesses in our store. I'm incredibly proud of how the teams, particularly in India, have invented on behalf of sellers and how many seller trust Amazon has been able to be their business partners. I grew up in a small business. We were from a small U.S. town that was a carpet capital of the world, so we loaded up a truck of carpet and set up shop in another state, selling carpet and rugs and remnants to people. We would go sit on the weekends at what in the U.S. we like to call flea markets, which are just basically big outdoor bazaars of small businesses trying to make deals with customers. I really wish we had Amazon back then, but I learned a lot about how much time, energy, and sacrifice is really required to run and grow a business. So sellers are near and dear to my heart.
Dave, not many people here would know that you have also taught music to school kids. That's so interesting. Can you tell us more?
Yes, so I studied music education when I was in undergraduate school at Auburn, where I used to play saxophone and tuba. And after graduating, I spent a year teaching junior high school music before I headed off to business school. I found over the years that so many of the most analytic people I know and the best problem solvers are musicians of some sort. I really come to believe that music and math are very interconnected. I'd also say that once you've taught 250 13-year-olds how to play instruments, a lot of other leadership challenges really seem less challenging.
Yeah. Just shifting topics, the last couple of years have been extremely challenging for everyone. Now, I've really found it humbling that hundreds of millions of customers globally have relied on Amazon to get what they need from the safety of their homes. How difficult was it to deliver on this responsibility in the middle of probably the biggest disruption in our living memory?
You're so right, Amit. It was a challenge like no one's seen before. And not just to customers, but also the sellers who needed a way to get their goods to customers when their stores were closed. There wasn't a playbook to go by for how to do this. When the pandemic started in early 2020, really few people thought we'd be having as expansive and long-running an event as we've had. As the world shut down, I think Amazonians and sellers around the world recognized a sense of responsibility to support our communities in this challenging time. The health and safety of our employees has been our top priority, and we work to ensure smooth transitions into our new ways of working. In fact, the second COVID wave in India was quite severe, and it was inspiring to see how Amazonians in India and across the world rallied together and leveraged our global logistics infrastructure to bring critical medical supplies to people who needed it the most. We had spent Amazon's first 25 years building a very large fulfillment network and then had to double it just in the last 24 months to meet customer demand. That was no small task for teams around the world, and I'm incredibly proud of the work they've done. I know there were some bumpy moments along the way for some sellers, and I'm deeply appreciative of your feedback and patience throughout the process as we work to ramp up to meet customers' needs and seller needs during this time.
Yeah, indeed. It was very inspiring to see Amazonians across the world come together and go beyond their normal job to help each other as well as our customers, selling partners, and our communities. Dave, on a different topic, you've been in your new role for about a year and a half. Can you share some of your top priorities as the CEO of Amazon's worldwide consumer business?
Yeah, it's been a fun year and a half, and my focus is always on our customers. But our definition of who is a customer is broad and all-encompassing and includes different types of consumers as well as sellers around the world. To me, sellers are one of my customers, and as I mentioned earlier, given my history growing up in a small business, a big priority for me has been diving in with our teams to consider how, as we continue to grow, that we empower other businesses around us, and sellers are a big part of that in my focus. I've really been focused through the pandemic even, and in this new role, on innovating on behalf of our sellers, and we will continue to do so. Every day, we see our sellers provide great product selection, low prices, and convenience for customers. That's why we've invested more than $18 billion in selling partners' success since 2020. A few other important areas for me are the 2 new leadership principles we've created. Strive to be Earth's best employer, and success and scale bring broad responsibility. So we're going to continue focusing on giving back to the communities we reside in. We're committed to and invested in building a safe, sustainable future for our employees, customers, and our communities.
You know, one of the things that you spoke about is innovating on behalf of our customers, small businesses being a primary customer in that sense. Today we have thousands of them in the audience. I'm sure they would love to know about how Amazon is actually focused on empowering them to be more successful and serve their own customers.
With more than 24,000 employees dedicated to supporting sellers across the company, we're laser focused on offering world-class support to sellers and being the best place to sell online. To better support our sellers, we've doubled our fulfillment network capacity since the start of the pandemic, opening dozens of new delivery stations and fulfillment centers around the world, and hired more than 500,000 new employees across our fulfillment and transportation networks. I'm inspired to see the kind of innovation that's coming out of India. India is the 2nd largest technology hub for Amazon globally, with some of the most talented people. And our teams are powering innovations not only for India, but for customers globally, building services that practically touch every aspect of the customer journey at Amazon. For instance, one of our teams has built a cloud-based warehouse management system to help sellers streamline their warehouse operations and ship orders to customers fast and reliably. While this service launched in India first, it's now being used by sellers worldwide to serve millions of customers. Another team developed vision-based information extraction capability used to automate identity verification, helping streamline new seller onboarding experience worldwide. And one of our AI teams is using computer vision and deep learning technologies to grade produce for customers. Not only this, we've introduced several programs specifically for millions of neighborhood stores to benefit from technology and e-commerce. For example, I Have Space, where local stores work with us for last mile delivery, or Amazon Easy, which acts as assisted shopping points for new e-commerce customers and provides local stores incremental growth opportunities. What I find exciting is how much room there is for businesses to grow by embracing technology. And Amit, I believe you have an important announcement to share around this.
Thank you, Dave. We announced our Local Shops on Amazon program about 2 years ago to enable neighborhood stores go online through Amazon.in. We are humbled that in a short period, the program has already grown to more than 1.5 lakh stores from across India. Inspired by this momentum, I'm excited to announce the launch of Smart Commerce, an initiative to transform local stores into digital dukans. With Smart Commerce, stores will be able to digitize their offline operations, provide enhanced in-store shopping experiences to their walk-in customers, and create their own online storefronts within minutes to serve customers directly. Stores of any size can now take advantage of the best of Amazon to provide a trustworthy experience to their customers no matter where they are, in their physical store, directly through their own online storefront, or on Amazon.in. We remain committed to our pledge to digitize 1 crore small businesses in the country by 2025 and are super excited by the possibilities unlocked by Smart Commerce to accelerate our progress. Changing tracks, Dave, you also mentioned a recent addition to Amazon's leadership principles that talks about how success and scale brings broad responsibility. Can you share your thoughts on how Amazon is putting this into practice?
Sure. This particular leadership principle guides us that our local communities, planet, and future generations need us to be better every day. That we must begin each day with a determination to make better, do better, and be better for our customers, our employees, our partners, and the world at large. And we must end every day knowing that we can do even more tomorrow. And a good example of this is our climate pledge. Amazon co-founded and was the first signatory of the Climate Pledge, a commitment to reach net zero carbon by 2040, 10 years ahead of the Paris Agreement. The pledge now has more than 300 signatories, and we're hopeful that many more will join us. We recently announced 37 new renewable energy projects around the world, including 2 new rooftop solar projects here in India. We also now have 310 wind and solar projects across 19 countries and are on track to reach our goal of powering 100% of our business on renewable energy by 2025, 5 years ahead of our original target of 2030. Our commitment to protecting the planet and limiting Amazon's impact on the environment has led us to become the largest corporate buyer of renewable energy in the world in both 2020 and 2021.
That's super exciting. Now, Amazon.in was set up a little less than 9 years ago. Amazon actually established its first center in India back in 2003. So it's been a while since Amazon has had a presence in India. And in fact, in our first edition of Smbhav, Jeff Bezos made a prediction that the 21st century is likely to be the Indian century. And we pledged to digitize 1 crore SMBs, enable 10 billion in exports, and create 20 lakh jobs by 2025. Dave, on this occasion, I'm sure the audience would love to hear your thoughts on the role you see Amazon playing in India's pragati or progress, which happens to be the theme of our Smbhav event in 2022.
Well, Amit, it's remarkable what's been accomplished in less than 10 years, and I am super excited about the opportunities here in India. India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world and is so important to Amazon. India has set an exciting goal of becoming a $1 trillion digital economy, unparalleled rates of internet adoption, and a great young demographic. To add to this, the entrepreneurial spirit of the Indian businesses and the growth mindset that Indians possess as they work towards developing the digital economy will hold them in good stead. I think these are perhaps some of the reasons why Jeff made that prediction at this very event in 2020, that 21st century will be an Indian century. I see us continue to build on what we have done in India over the last 9 years. In fact, it's humbling to see that in such a short period, Amazon has already digitized more than 4 million small businesses, enabled exports worth nearly $5 billion, and helped create over 1 million jobs in India. I was very happy we were able to recently double our commitments to boost exports from India to 20 billion by 2025, enabling hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs here to build truly global businesses and strong brands. We're incredibly motivated by the momentum in India, serving millions of customers, sellers, and other partners. We think it's still very early days, and we remain committed to being a long-term partner in India's economic progress in the years to come.
Thank you, Dave. I hope you all enjoyed this conversation. We look forward to having you all with us over the next 2 days as some of the brightest minds, innovators, and business leaders share their thoughts on digitizing India and enabling an Atmanirbhar Digital Bharat. Thank you.
ये वादा है पक्का, प्रगति का